Joining me now is Susan Loggans, and Susan is the attorney representing the former Chicago Blackhawks player who is referred to as John Doe 1 in court documents. Susan, what was your client's reaction to today's final report?
A combination of relief, a feeling of vindication, a feeling of justice, the fact that David can beat Goliath, gratitude to everyone that's been behind him.
And what was it like for him to finally hear the truth come out publicly after 11 years of him having to go through this experience?
Indescribable. I was texting with him as the hearing was going on, and he told me that he was just, crying, that he couldn't believe that the truth finally came out, and all the denials by the Blackhawks and the various members of the management team that have been made ever since he brought this up have finally been shown to be wrong, and that his statement of what happened was correct. He just felt so much relief that the truth was coming out.
What do you think of the consequences that were announced today, starting with the departures of General Manager Stan Bowman and Senior Vice President Al McIsaac, as well as the $2 million fine that was handed to the Blackhawks by the NHL?
My reaction is on several different levels. I think it's really great that the Blackhawks have at this time acknowledged the fault of others. Of course, the Wirtz family is denying any personal knowledge of it. That's a different matter. And I think there should be responsibility on people's part when something so egregious has been done. So it didn't seem out of the ordinary. It seemed totally appropriate to me, especially in light of the fact that there's been so much denial since this came forward. So that seemed appropriate. As far as Bowman is concerned, I understood why they did that. They're trying to start a clean slate. They want the public to accept their contriteness, and they also want the public to accept the fact that the Wirtz family didn't know anything about it, so they wanted to take what might seem to be drastic measures. And there's been a lot of question about Bowman's participation in the whole Olympic situation with the hockey team, especially in light of the lawsuit with the Blackhawks and the whole gymnast situation. So a purge was necessary. I'm glad they did it. I don't think that it really remedies anything with reference to John Doe 1 or 2, but it was a good sign of recognition.
Right, John Doe 2, of course, you're referring to the former high school player in Michigan who was sexually abused by Brad Aldrich after Aldrich left the Blackhawks. When you consider the subsequent actions by Aldrich and John Doe 1's mental health, how would you describe the impact of this matter not being handled properly from the very start?
Well, the gravity of the situation is much more severe than people might recognize. A lot of people hear about these, sexual molestations. They don't really know what happened. But more importantly, they don't know the impact it has on the psyche of people. And the younger the person is, the more vulnerable they are, especially in the case of John Doe 2, who was a teenager who was sexually assaulted by Brad Aldrich. It makes them question why this happened to them. Did they have something to do with it? Does it mar them for the rest of their life? Are they used goods? These are things that no child should have to undergo, and no adult should either. It's been incredibly traumatizing to John Doe 2. And the fact is that none of it had to happen. First of all, the whole reason why Brad Aldrich was allowed to join the Blackhawks is one issue. But after it was brought to the Blackhawks' attention what he had done and confirmed by two of their own staff members that it had in fact happened, the fact that they allowed this assaulter to remain in the organization and then, continue the lie. It's like a teenager who lies to their parents and then has to keep lying to keep the lie up. So not only did they throw John Doe 1 under the bus in order to have the playoffs and the Stanley Cup not be in any way tarnished by the event, but afterwards they kept the lie up in order to support what they had done. They kept it up all the way until today. They
Right.
failed to acknowledge it all along.
Well, Susan Loggans, thank you very much for joining us and talking about this today.
Thank you for what you've done as well. Thank you very much.